this is Ingrid M. Williams of the Single Parents Guide. Thank you so much for joining me. I know our last series of videos have been really focused on accomplishing your dreams and conquering the world and overcoming your fears of taking the risks to pursue your dreams and goals while you're single parenting. And I just kind of wanted to take a step back because I know before I got into this fearless space of being able to just take life and conquer it full steam ahead, I was transitioning to a single parent about maybe 7 years ago now. And it was a scary place, and I was filled with like several emotions. And one of them was kind of like shock, like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe this is happening to me. And that you almost had a feeling of spiraling out of control. This is kind of like how I felt. And during that time, I couldn't see myself beyond surviving the moment. So I was very much in survival mode. A shock is what I call it. And when anything goes into shock, you kind of stop feeling. So I wouldn't allow myself to feel the fear. I wouldn't allow myself to feel scared. It was just kind of, I had to make it through the day type thing. And I couldn't see beyond that. So it was really hard for me at that point and that time and in that space to like think that there was going to be anything beyond figuring out how I was going to feed my kid or what I was going to do for money on sometimes when like my account was negative. And that was very real and that was very often. But I had to remember, or I had to just kind of make it through the day. And it was hard to expand past that. So I would like to talk to anyone that feels like they're in that space today, because I've been there and I know exactly what it feels like. I know exactly kind of what thoughts might be going through your mind. I felt like if I allowed myself to feel, then I would have to fully embrace the failure or the breakdown of my relationship and ultimately my family. And nobody wants to feel that. Nobody wants to feel kind of like a loser. Nobody wants to feel like they failed or they couldn't do it. And nobody wants to kind of recognize the fact that you're parenting alone. And the downside of that, although they're very natural emotions to kind of like go into this self-protect, is that the emotions won't go away. You're going to have to feel it at some point. So you rather feel it kind of sooner than later, especially in the recovery process of single parenting. It is something that everyone has to go through the stages kind of in their own time. But I'm just encouraging you to do it to recognize and be able to reconcile those feelings a little bit faster, because you might wake up one day and it might be 5, 10, 15 years later and you're just now allowing yourself to kind of feel those emotions, and all this time has passed, and you're just kind of waking up from that dream. So I just want to let you know, one, that it is completely okay. If you're making the transition, or even if you've been single parenting for a little while now and you're just kind of don't understand why you can't move past this certain point, you may need to recognize some of those overwhelming, not so positive emotions that come along with the transition into single parenthood. So the first stage, I like to name it, is kind of like shock. Oh my gosh, what is happening? What happened to my family? What am I going to do? And will life ever be the same after this? I'm here to tell you that it will be the same, and it will possibly be better depending on the situation in which you're coming from. Maybe it wasn't the most healthy relationship. And so on the other side of this might be the great one, or a great one that you're looking for. So just please be encouraged that it's not a foreign feeling. You are not alone. You are not losing your mind. And just embrace the emotion. Feel whatever it is that you need to feel in that moment, the realness of what's happening to you, so that you can hurry up and kind of conquer or move to the other side of shock. Because there's a wonderful life waiting for you. But you have to recognize those emotions before you can get to that side. If you have any questions, if you want to share some of your experiences with us, you can always do at the bottom in the comments, you can always share your experience. If it's something that you want to go into a little bit more detail with and you might be a little bit shy about doing it in the comments, you can always email me at info@asingleparentsguide.com. That's info@asingleparentsguide.com. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for listening today, and have a wonderful day.